In Health Watch, the Environmental Protection Agency is being urged to take action on toxic chemicals found in some drinking water. The chemicals are known as PFAs, and studies found that these chemicals are more dangerous than previously thought. PFAs are used in anything from carpets and firefighting foam to fast food wrappers. The Trump administration has called the contamination a public relations nightmare. Eric Olson is the Senior Director for Advocacy Initiatives at the National Resources Defense Council. Eric, thanks for joining us. What are the possible health impacts of these chemicals in drinking water?
Well, there's a variety of effects. We're worried about cancer effects. It can interfere with some of the hormones that we have, and there are certain other diseases that have been linked to these toxic chemicals that we're now finding in millions of people's drinking water.
EPA testing from 2013 to 2015 found significant amounts of PFAs in public water in 33 states. So what needs to be done to get these chemicals out of the water?
Well, we need to stop using them, for one thing. They're used in all sorts of for all sorts of purposes, ranging from firefighting foams that are sprayed onto fires, and there are alternatives to things like food wrappers, even things like Teflon pans. So we need to stop using them, go to alternatives that are safer, and start cleaning up the problem, because millions of people are drinking this stuff every day.
Well, of course, one of the stories and the biggest horrible problems that brought attention to safe water recently is Flint, Michigan. How much of the drinking water in the U.S., though, do you think is contaminated? Is this isolated or is this widespread?
Well, we wish it was isolated, but a study that was done by some Harvard University researchers recently found that over 6 million people are served by water systems that have this stuff at levels above what EPA says are safe. And in fact, now it's looking like the EPA numbers are too high, and we should be saying that safe levels are even lower than what EPA originally was saying was okay.
So what do you recommend? What should be done to make sure that water is safe?
Well, first of all, we need to make sure we've tested the water, because millions of people's water hasn't even been checked for whether this contamination is there. Secondly, we need to start cleaning up our water supplies. And thirdly, start getting rid of the contamination. That means stop using the stuff and cleaning up contamination of our groundwater and surface waters that has these toxic chemicals in it.
All right, Eric Olson, very disturbing report. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to say call Halayim La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to my elders and apostles, a great millstone who taught me this truth, and double salutation to all Yakim out there that's laboring in this truth with all righteousness and sincerity. Hey, Shalom. All right. So what you just saw in this clip is basically Esau purposely poisoning the people, all right, through the tap water, man, with these harmful toxic chemicals. All right, so I got this article. This is from it's August 13th, 2018. It says the EPA urged to act on toxic chemicals. White House called, quote, PR nightmare. All right, and the EPA is the Environmental Protection Agency, which is supposed to be for the environment and human rights. But it said the White House called this a PR nightmare, and the reason why is because if people truly understood how much harmful chemicals and radiation and toxins was in the tap water, it would be a damn revolution, man. You see? But Esau is all about, you know, wickedness and trying to cover it up and downplaying on everything, man. So I'm going to read a little bit of this article and grab a couple of scriptures, because at the end of the video, I want to show you what's actually inside of the tap water that you people drink in the so-called bottled waters too. All right? Because it's all a lie, man. You know, but jumping into the article, this is it says Horsham, PA, Lauren wonders if her 16-month-old daughter has been harmed by tap water contaminated with toxic industrial compounds used in products like non-stick cookware, carpets, firefighting foam, and fast food wrappers. So these are all the chemicals that make these products that's in the tap water. It says Henry Betts, at 76, rattles around his house alone at night thinking about the water his family unknowingly drank for years that was tainted by the same contaminants and pancreatic cancers that killed wife Betty Jean and 2 others in his household. All right, so this is a worldwide thing, man. All right, it says Tim Hagee, manager of a local water utility, recalls how he used to assure people that the local public water was safe, that was before testing showed it has some of the highest levels of toxic compounds in any public water system in the U.S. Like I said, this is all across the United States, man. People are drinking, heavy polluted, toxic water, man, which is killing them, man. All right, just jumping down. The Trump administration called it the contamination a potential public relations nightmare earlier this year after federal toxicology studies found that some of the compounds are more hazardous than previously acknowledged. You see? So this is way worse than what Esau is putting out in the media, man. Because he's the devil, man. All right? And bros can read the rest of this article because it goes into some of the chemicals and how much the chemicals are in the water and so on and so forth. All right? But this is Jeremiah chapter 9, verse 15. It says, Therefore thus saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushua of hosts, the power of Israel, behold, I will feed them, even this people, wormwood, and give them water of gall to drink. All right? And that water of gall is poison, man. You know, what you just saw in the video, man, because Esau is feeding you this, man. It's in your water, it's in the air, all right? It's in the food, the pesticides that he's putting on the crops and the plants. People are consuming them. People are getting sick. They're dying from cancer. Cancer rates are increasing, all right? Different diseases, neurological type diseases, things that affect your digestive system, all types of that, man, because of this poisonous water, man. And this is all part of prophecy, man. Like the brothers say all the time, man, it's a miracle that we're still alive, man. All right, because people are consuming this stuff at alarming rates, man, which Esau is now starting to come out and trying to tell the people, man. But this is stuff that people have been consuming for years, man. All types of different poisons and drugs, that's contained in the tap water, man. And even if you get a filtration system, all right, that still won't even do us justice, man, because so much of the microbes and the pollutants that's in the water, All right, this is Sirach chapter 10, verse 3. It says, An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in their authority, the city shall be inhabited. And the point, it says that an unwise king destroyeth his people, man. All right, because who's ruling this place, man? Esau, man, starting with the elites, man. They're destroying the people, man. Because you got toxins in the air, the water, and the food systems. The food is GMO. They're putting all types of unclean animals in the meat. This is the devil that's ruling, man. This is an unwise king that's killing the people. He's destroying the people. All right? That's why all these Americans are sick, obese, bugged out of their minds, because of this food and air and water that they're drinking, man. All right? This is, I'm going to grab Proverbs 29 and 4. Just getting straight to the point. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 4. All right? Salakia. Proverbs 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn, And the people are in mourning, man. People are dying, man. Because why? The wicked is in rulership, man. All right? These are the results of the rulership of the so-called white man, man. Toxic, hazardous water, man. All right? But I want to show this clip at the end of the video just to prove of what's really in the water that the people are drinking, man. So I just wanted that lesson to be straight to the point. I hope it was edifying. We give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. All right, I'm going to show this clip. Hey, Shalom.
I'm going to do a water test, electrocoagulation, tap water. We've got Smart Water made by Coca-Cola. Evian. And distilled water. Straight from the distiller, distilled last night. This is the electrocoagulation apparatus. see the bubbling start straight away. This is breaking the electrical bonds between the substances in the water. It's going to reveal them and tell us more about the water. We've done a pH test and a ppm test on all waters. So we've got pH of the tap water 7.4, the smart water 7.2, the Evans 7.4, and the distilled water 7.1. And the ppm, parts per million, tap water 276, smart water 225, Evian 265, and the distilled water 002. It's usually 000, but it picks up carbon dioxide as soon as it comes into the jug. It absorbs it. So as you can see, the smart water is getting really dark. The tap water's also getting very murky. And as we can see, all the sediments in the water that are being revealed, this is what fills up our bodies. It gets in all in our tissue, in between our joints, causes arthritis later on in life, and all different problems and conditions, and leads to diseases. And to hydrate ourselves, we want to be drinking water that can go into the cells. These waters, they can't hydrate us properly because the molecules are all clumped together. And hydration is one of the #1 causes of conditions and diseases. Right, so it's getting hot now. I'm going to turn the machine off. Let's let that one go on for a little bit longer. And as we can see, the colours have been revealed. We've got black for smart water, which is basically pure heavy metals: zinc, lead, copper, manganese and cadmium. So it's just filled with heavy metals. The tap water is slightly blue and green, so we've got bacteria, viruses, carcinogens, organic phosphorus, fertilisers, detergents and pesticides, and with the green as well as arsenic, mercury, lead, copper and sodium. So all them poisons, and this is what we feed our families, our kids, our babies, you know, mixing it in with everything. So we've got all these problems. Mercury is like one of the most poisonous things you can possibly have. Arsenic's a poison. We've got bacteria, pathogenic bacteria in the water. Let's turn this one off now. Right, and you can see the Evian is slightly yellow and I would say a little bit off green, so it's got lots of organic minerals in there. Other organics, possible fluoride, silicon compounds, and some heavy metals: arsenic, mercury, lead and copper and sodium. And as you can see, the distilled water, having no parts per million in there, is totally clear. And really, this should prove a point to get on the distilled water. Hydrate yourself, cleanse yourself and treat your body and your families well. Love and gratitude. Thanks from Matthew on the camera, and I'm Darren Brock.